The champagne flute slipped from my fingers, shattering against the marble floor of our honeymoon suite like the fragile vows we just exchanged. Jordan's perfect smile, that goddamn smile that had hooked me from day one, flickered, his eyes widening in confusion as the golden liquid pooled between us like spilled secrets. In that heartbeat of silence, with the city lights of Chicago twinkling mockingly through the floor-to-ceiling windows, I froze, the weight of his hidden phone buzzing in my pocket crashing down like a verdict I never saw coming. It all started back in freshman year at Ohio State, in a lecture hall that smelled like stale coffee and desperation. I was Alex Harper, the kid from the Rust Belt town of Youngstown, where dreams went to die in steel mills and Friday night football games. 18 years old, broad-shouldered from wrestling in high school, but inside I was a storm of confusion, wrestling with feelings I didn't have names for yet. I'd always known I was different. The way my stomach flipped when the quarterback slung his arm around me after a win, or how I'd linger too long in the locker room showers, stealing glances at the curve of a teammate's back. But in Youngstown you buried that shit deep, under layers of flannel and false bravado. Gay wasn't a word we used, it was a slur whispered in the back of pickups, a reason to get your ass kicked behind the bleachers. That first day of intro to American Lit, I slouched into the back row, nursing a hangover from cheap beer at a frat party I hadn't even wanted to go to. The professor droned on about Whitman and Leaves of Grass, but my eyes snagged on him, the guy 2 seats over, scribbling notes like his life depended on it. Jordan Ellis. God, even his name sounded like it belonged on a billboard. He had this mop of chestnut hair that fell just so over his forehead, and when he laughed at some dumb joke the prof cracked a low rumbling sound that cut through the room like sunlight. I swear the air shifted. But it was his smile that got me. Wide, disarming, with these little crinkles at the corners of his hazel eyes that made you feel like you were the only person in the world worth smiling at. Perfect, like it was engineered in some Hollywood lab to break hearts. I didn't talk to him that day. Or the next. Hell, I barely looked his way for a week, convinced he'd clock me as the creepy wrestler type. But fate, or maybe just the universe's sick sense of humor, had other plans. We got paired for a group project on Emerson's self-reliance, and suddenly there I was, across from him in the undergrad library, our knees brushing under the scarred oak table. "So, Alex, right?" he said, extending a hand that was warm and steady, calluses from what I later learned was summers baling hay on his family's farm in Indiana. His voice had this easy Midwestern drawl, vowels stretching like taffy. "Heard you're a beast on the mat. Think you can wrestle some sense into this essay?" I laughed, too loud, too forced, and shook his hand, feeling the jolt like I'd grabbed a live wire. From there it snowballed. Study sessions turned into late-night diners at Denny's, greasy hash browns and bottomless coffee, while we debated Thoreau's Cabin Fever versus Whitman's Open Road. Jordan was a poli-sci major, all fire and idealism, dreaming of changing the world from a desk in D.C. He talked about his little sister, Mia, with this fierce protectiveness, how he'd drive 3 hours home every weekend just to braid her hair and scare off her elementary school crushes. And me? I spilled about Youngstown, the shuttered factories, my dad's ghost of a presence after the mill laid him off, the way Mom chain-smoked menthols on the porch swing, pretending everything was fine. Jordan listened like it mattered, his perfect smile softening into something real, vulnerable. By midterms we were inseparable. Tailgates at Buckeye games, our faces painted scarlet and gray, screaming until our throats were raw. One crisp October night after Ohio State crushed Michigan, we stumbled back to my off-campus apartment, buzzed on Natty Light and adrenaline. The place was a dump. Sagging couch, posters of Springsteen peeling from the walls, but Jordan crashed there like it was home. We sprawled on the floor, backs against the bed, passing a warm beer back and forth. The room spun a little, the kind of spin that loosens tongues. "You ever feel like you're faking it?" I asked, staring at the ceiling fan whirring lazy circles. My heart hammered, but the alcohol made it easier to pretend it was casual. Jordan went still beside me. "Faking what?" "This." I waved a hand vaguely. "College. Life. Being. You know, the guy everyone expects." He turned his head, our faces inches apart, his breath minty from the gum he always chewed. "All the damn time," he admitted, voice barely above a whisper. "Like I'm wearing this mask and one wrong move it cracks." His eyes locked on mine, searching, and in that moment I saw it, the same storm raging in him, The fear. The want. I don't know who leaned in first. Maybe it was me, emboldened by the beer and the way his knee pressed against mine. Our lips met tentative, soft like testing thin ice. Then it deepened, his hand cupping the back of my neck, fingers threading through my hair. It was electric, terrifying, right, like coming home after years adrift. We didn't go further that night. We just held on, foreheads touching, breaths mingling in the dark. "Alex," he murmured. "What the hell are we doing?" "Falling," I whispered back. "I think we're falling." That was the start. Stolen kisses in the stacks of the library, his hand slipping into mine under the table at coffee shops. But it was 2008, and even in progressive Columbus, being out wasn't a given. We kept it quiet, whispers and winks, the thrill of secrecy sharpening every touch. Jordan's smile became my anchor, that flash of white teeth chasing away the doubts that crept in at night. What if Dad found out? What if the team blackballed me? But with Jordan, those fears felt smaller, like we could wrestle them down together. Winter break hit like a freight train. I headed back to Youngstown, the snow-blanketed streets a grim reminder of why I'd left. Mom hugged me tight, her perfume a mix of lavender and regret, while Dad grunted from his recliner, eyes glued to a Steelers rerun. I told them about school, vague, safe stuff, but inside I was bursting with Jordan. His text lit up my flip phone. "Miss your laugh already. Hey, Bale's got nothing on Buckeye bleachers." I grinned like an idiot, hiding the screen when Dad wandered in for another course. Jordan's holiday was rougher. A call on Christmas Eve, his voice thick. Family dinner's a minefield. Dad's on about grandkids again like I'm some damn stallion. I heard the strain, the way his drawl tightened around the edges. "Wish you were here, Alex. You'd charm him with that wrestler grin." "Come out to them," I said, bold in the dark of my childhood bedroom. "We could face it together." Silence stretched, broken only by his sigh. "Not yet. Indiana's not Ohio. Give me time." His smile was audible, even over the line, that perfect, reassuring curve. "But hey, New Year's? My place. We'll make our own traditions." I flew back early, heart pounding like I'd chugged a Red Bull. His family's farm was straight out of a Norman Rockwell painting. Red barn, silos piercing the flat horizon, the air crisp with frost and manure. Mia, all of 10, tackled me at the door with a hug, declaring me her new big bro. Jordan's mom baked pies that could cure world hunger, and his dad, stoic flannel-clad, clapped my shoulder hard enough to rattle my teeth, muttering about good stock like I was a prize steer. New Year's Eve we snuck out to the back field, bundled in coats and scarves, a thermos of spike cider between us. Fireworks popped distant over Indianapolis, painting the sky in bursts of red and gold. Jordan pulled me close, his nose cold against my cheek. "This is it, isn't it? Us against the world." I kissed him under the stars, tasting cinnamon and promise. Damn right. Spring thawed into something reckless. We came out to our roommates first, awkward beers and backslaps that turned into real hugs. The team? Mixed bag. Some guys ghosted. Others showed up at our next match with signs, "Harper's got game," on and off the mat. Jordan's idealism rubbed off. He dragged me to glad meetings, where I learned words like queer didn't have to be weapons. His smile lit those rooms, drawing people in like moths. But beneath it I glimpsed cracks, the way he'd tense when his phone rang with his dad's area code, or how he'd dodge questions about his high school exes. "Ancient history," he'd say, flashing that grin. I let it slide, too wrapped up in the glow of us. Summer split us, me welding at a shop in Youngstown, him interning at a law firm in D.C. Letters flew, thick with ink and longing. "Can't wait to tackle you again," he'd write, and I'd read them under the hood of a Chevy, grease-streaked and grinning. When fall rolled around we dove back in harder. Road trips to Cedar Point, screaming on roller coasters until our sides ached. Lazy Sundays in his bed, sunlight slanting through blinds, his head on my chest as we planned a future. Law school for him, coaching for me, maybe a place in the city where we could walk hand in hand without side eyes. But shadows crept in. One night, after a party at the Union, we argued stupid, beer-fueled stuff about me skipping a pride rally for a wrestling scrimmage. "You're ashamed," he accused, his voice sharp as a slap. "I'm not." I shot back, chest heaving. "I'm just scared of losing everything." He softened, pulling me into a hug that smelled like his cedar cologne. "We won't. Not if we stick together. That smile again, melting my defenses. We made up slow bodies tangled in apology, the fight forging us stronger. By junior year we were legends in the small gay scene. The wrestler and the farm boy unbreakable. Graduation loomed, diplomas and uncertainty. Jordan landed a gig at a non-profit in Chicago, fighting for marriage equality, just as the Supreme Court whispers started buzzing. "Come with me," he said one rainy afternoon in the Oval, pedals sticking to our shoes. "Build something real." I hesitated. Mom's health was slipping, Dad's pride a fragile thing. But his eyes, hazel and hopeful, won out. "Yeah," I said. "All in." Packing up Columbus felt like shedding skin. We loaded a U-Haul with books, his law texts stacked on my wrestling trophies, and hit I-90 West, wind whipping through open windows, Springsteen blasting Thunder Road. Chicago swallowed us whole. The looped skyscrapers, Lake Michigan's endless blue, neighborhoods pulsing with life. We found a walk-up in Wicker Park, creaky floors and a view of the L train rattling by. Rent was a killer, but we made it work. Me bartending at a dive called the Rusty Nail, him burning midnight oil on briefs. Those early months were magic laced with grind. Mornings tangled in sheets, his smile the first thing I saw. Evenings on the fire escape, sharing takeout falafel and dreams. Pride that June was electric, rainbow flags snapping in the wind, our hands linked as we marched down Halsted. Jordan's laugh rang out over the cheers, his arm around my waist like a shield. But family calls grew sparse. My folks visited once, Mom hugging him like a son, Dad grunting approvals over deep dish pizza. Jordan's? Radio silence. "They're adjusting," he'd say, but his jaw tightened when the topic hit. One crisp autumn night, walking home from a Cubs game, Sox fans like us pretending to care, he stopped under a street lamp, leaves swirling at our feet. "Alex, I love you." The words hung simple and seismic. I pulled him close, heart full. "Love you too, farm boy." We talked rings that winter, casual at first, over hot cocoa at a cafe on Milwaukee Avenue. "When it's legal," he said, tracing patterns in the foam, "we'll make it official." Obergefell versus Hodges dropped like thunder in June 2015. We watched the ruling on CNN in our cramped living room, tears streaming as the words marriage equality echoed. Jordan hooped, lifting me off the couch in a spin. "This is our shot," he whispered, kissing me fierce. "Marry me." I said yes before he finished, our laughter bubbling into sobs of joy. Planning was a whirlwind. Venues in the Gold Coast, suits from Men's Warehouse, Mia as flower girl, beaming in a tiny tux. My family came around. Mom sewed Jordan's boutonniere. Dad even cracked a joke about 2 grooms double the trouble. Jordan's parents? A polite no, traditions, his dad emailed, words clipped like barbed wire. It stung, but Jordan shrugged it off with that smile. "Their loss. We've got each other." The bachelor party was low-key beers at the Rusty Nail, toasts from the crew. I woke the next morning with a hangover and a certainty deeper than bone. This was right. Jordan, in his gray sweats, frying eggs with that bedhead mop, was my forever. The ceremony was at a rooftop garden in Lincoln Park, skyline glittering like a promise. Vows exchanged under a floral arch, his voice steady. "You saw me, Alex, really saw me, and loved the mess anyway." Mine cracked. "Your smile hooked me, but your heart kept me." Rings slid on, simple gold bands warm from our palms. The kiss, our first public one as husbands, drew cheers that drowned the city hum. The reception blurred into toasts and cake, Mia giggling as she smeared frosting on Uncle Alex's nose. Jordan's eyes never left mine, that perfect smile radiant. As we slipped away for the suite at the Peninsula, our big night, comped by a generous aunt, the world felt conquered. But in the elevator his phone buzzed. He glanced, pocketed it quick. I didn't think twice. Not until the door clicked shut, the bottle popped, and the glass hit the floor. The shards glittered under the chandelier's glow, catching the light like tiny accusations. Jordan knelt first, his tux pants pooling around him, murmuring, "Hey, it's okay, clumsy me." But his fingers brushed my ankle and I flinched, the buzz in my pocket now a siren. I'd snagged his phone from the limo earlier. A joke meant to hide it for a surprise playlist. Instead, I'd seen the lock screen notification. "Hey babe, tonight's the night? Can't wait. Elle. Babe. Not Alex." My stomach twisted, the room tilting. Jordan, I said, voice foreign in my ears. Who's L? His hand froze mid-reach, eyes flicking up, hazel storm clouds now. What? Alex, it's nothing. The phone. I pulled it from my pocket, screen dark but damning in my grip. Babe. Tonight's the night. The words tasted like ash, our vows still fresh on my tongue. He stood slow, color draining from his face, that perfect smile nowhere in sight. It's an old friend. Prank. Let me explain. Explain. Laughter barked out of me, bitter and broken. We just promise forever. And you've got someone calling you babe on our wedding night? The suite spun. Silk duvet on the king bed. Rose petals scattered like blood. The city beyond mocking our fragility. Jordan reached for me but I stepped back, glass crunching under my shoe. Alex, please. It's not what you think. Then what is it? My voice rose, cracking the hush. Because right now it feels like betrayal wrapped in a bow. He sank onto the bed's edge, head in hands, shoulders shaking. Not sobs but something deeper, like a dam finally breaching. Minutes stretched, the only sound my ragged breaths and the distant L rumble. When he looked up, his eyes were raw, stripped bare. Lucas, he whispered. From high school. The name hit like a sucker punch. Lucas, the ex he'd brushed off as ancient history. The one he'd mentioned once, in a tipsy ramble about prom nights and bad decisions, then shut down when I pressed. We were kids, he'd said. Over before it started. But now? I thrust the phone at him. Unlock it. Now. Fingers trembling, he did. Text scrolled. Innocent at first. Congrats on the wedding, Jay. Proud of you. Then deeper, miss our talks. Remember that summer? And the killer. If it doesn't work out, you know where to find me. Always your L. My knees buckled. I dropped into an armchair. The world narrowing to pixels of punctuation. How long? Sporadic, he said, voice small. Started last year. After my folks cut me off for the engagement news. I was lonely, Alex. You were slammed at the bar, late shifts. Lonely. The word exploded. We were planning our life. And you turned to him. Not like that. He scooted forward, desperate. Just venting. He gets the farm boy guilt, the pressure to be straight, normal. It was emotional, not emotional cheating. I cut him off, the phrase ugly but true. You hid this. On our wedding day, he's texting like he's the backup plan. Jordan's face crumpled. I ended it months ago. Blocked him last week. Tonight was just bad timing. But doubt clawed in. Flashes of late nights he claimed were work. The way his phone stayed face down. The smile that now felt like camouflage. Why him? Why now? He exhaled long, rubbing his temples. Lucas was my first. Senior year. Hidden in the hayloft. We swore it was nothing but it shaped me, the fear, the shame. When Dad went nuclear about us marrying, it dragged it all up. Lucas texted out of the blue like he sensed the crack. I responded because, I don't know. To feel less alone. Alone. The word echoed my own buried fears. The nights I'd lain awake, wondering if I was enough for this golden boy with DC dreams. But hearing it aloud? It sliced. You could have talked to me, I said, quieter now, the fight leaching out into ache. I'm your husband, Jordan. I know. Tears tracked his cheeks, unashamed. I'm so sorry. I panicked. Thought if I buried it, it'd stay buried. We sat there, the champagne warming to flat, the petals wilting. Part of me wanted to storm out, leave him with his secrets and that goddamn smile. But another part, the one that remembered hay bales and stolen kisses, clung hard. Tell me everything, I finally said. No more masks. He did, words tumbling like confessions in a confessional. Lucas, the quiet artist from his Indiana high school, shared sketches in the art room, fumbling makeouts in his truck after football games. They'd ended it when Lucas moved for college, a mutual ghosting born of terror. Jordan's dad finding a suspicious drawing, grounding him for a month on vague sins. It haunted me, Jordan admitted. Made me overcompensate, charming, smiling, perfect. Until you made me want real. But real hurts, I murmured, echoing Emerson from that long ago project. Self-reliance felt like a cruel joke now. We talked until dawn crept over the lake, voices hoarse, hands finding each other tentative. No passion that night, just holding the bed a battlefield turned truce. Sleep came fitful dreams tangled with hayloft shadows and shattered glass. Morning brought coffee from room service, black and scalding. Jordan looked wrecked, stubble shadowing his jaw, eyes puffy, but when he smiled faint and genuine, it cracked something in me open. "We can fix this," he said, lacing our fingers. "If you want." Did I? The betrayal stung fresh, a bruise blooming under my ribs. But love isn't a straight line. It's a grapple, a pin on the mat. "One day at a time," I said. "Therapy. Honesty. No more ghosts." He nodded, relief flooding his face. We checked out late, the Peninsula staff oblivious to our wreckage, and drove to our new place in Logan Square. A brownstone with a tiny yard, our fresh start. Unpacking boxes felt symbolic. His law books next to my weights, Mia's artwork taped crooked on the fridge. Weeks blurred into routine laced with tension. Couples counseling in a sunny office off Michigan Avenue, where Dr. Lena, a no-nonsense dyke with a buzz cut, prodded our wounds. "Betrayal erodes trust," she'd say, her pen tapping like a metronome. "Rebuild it brick by brick." Jordan opened up about his family's rejection, letters returned unopened. Mia's tearful calls the only lifeline. "They see me as broken," he confessed once, voice thick. "Like loving you makes me less." "You're not less," I shot back fierce. "You're everything." My own cracks surfaced too. The Youngstown armor, how I'd internalized Dad's silence as shame. "I freeze when things get real," I told Dr. Lena. "Like on the mat, hesitate and you lose the pin." Jordan squeezed my hand, his thumb tracing my wedding band. Lucas faded to a blocked number, but echoes lingered. A wrong number text once, quickly deleted. A nightmare where Jordan vanished into a hayloft, leaving me grasping air. Yet glimmers shone. Date nights at the Wiener Circle, cheese fries and trash talk. Lazy Sundays building raised beds in the yard, dirt under nails and laughter easy again. Fall painted Chicago gold, leaves crunching underfoot as we walked the 606 trail. One evening, bundled against the wind, Jordan stopped, pulling a small box from his coat. Not a ring, a keychain, etched with a tiny barn and wrestling shoe. "For the truck," he said, sheepish. "So we're always tethered." I clipped it on, the metal cool against my palm. "No more running? No more." His smile, imperfect now, scarred but true, lit the dusk. Thanksgiving loomed, a minefield. My folks hosted turkey and tension in Youngstown. Jordan charmed Mom with pie crust tips, even got Dad talking Steelers trades. But as we cleared plates, Dad cleared his throat. "Proud of you boys," he rumbled, eyes on his coffee. "Takes guts." It wasn't poetry, but it was progress. A brick in our wall. Jordan's family? Mia snuck down for a weekend, all teenage spark and secrets. "Dad's thawing," she whispered over pizza. "Saw him tear up at your wedding pics." Hope flickered, fragile as a match. Holiday lights twinkled as winter deepened. Our first Christmas as husbands. We strung garland in the brownstone, Bing Crosby crooning low. Jordan's gift. A leather-bound journal, pages blank for our story unfiltered. Mine tickets to DC, a nod to his old dream. "We'll fight for equality," I said, side by side. But peace is fleeting. New Year's brought a call, Jordan's dad, voice gruff over the line. "Heard you're making it work. Tell me a hi." Click. No apology, but a door cracked. Jordan hung up, stunned, then grinned, that perfect smile evolved. "Progress. Progress," I echoed, pulling him close as fireworks boomed outside. Spring 2016 bloomed tentative. Jordan's nonprofit boomed, briefs filed for trans rights. I coached youth wrestling at a community center, kids with hungry eyes reminding me of us. Nights we'd collapse together, his head on my shoulder, breath sinking like a well-worn routine. Yet doubt whispered. A counseling session unearthed it. My freeze on the wedding night wasn't just the text. It was fear of losing him, of not being the anchor he needed. "You're enough," Dr. Lena affirmed. "But say it out loud." To Jordan over takeout pad thai. "I freeze because I love you too much to lose you." He cupped my face, eyes soft. "You won't. We're pinned, Alex. For good." Summer heat wave hit, sticky and unrelenting. We escaped to Indiana, Mia's lake house borrowed for a week. Sunsets over water, bonfires crackling. his hand in mine as stars wheeled overhead. One night, skinny dipping in the dark, cool waves lapping, he surfaced laughing. Remember our first kiss? Beer-fueled disaster. Best disaster, I said, splashing him. Back in Chicago, routine solidified. But life tests. Jordan's firm hit a scandal. A donor outed as anti-gay, forcing a public stance. Protests outside the office, slurs hurled like stones. He came home shaken, smile absent. They called me a traitor to family values. I held him on the couch, fury simmering. Screw them. You're my value. That fire forged us deeper. We volunteered at a shelter, serving meals to queer kids kicked out, mirrors of our younger selves. One boy, 16 and defiant, reminded me of Jordan's hayloft ghost. It gets better, he asked, eyes wary. Jordan knelt, voice steady. It does. If you fight for it. Watching him, compassion radiating, I fell anew. His smile wasn't perfect anymore. It was earned, battle-worn, beautiful. Fall brought elections, the air thick with division. Trump's rallies on TV, Jordan pacing like a caged lion. This country's fracturing, he'd say, hazel eyes stormy. We marched anyway, women's march, hands linked in the pink sea. Winter whispered change. Mia announced college, OSU full circle. Gonna major in kicking ass, she declared over FaceTime, Jordan's pride beaming. But cracks reappeared. A late night at the office, Jordan home with whiskey on his breath. Stress, he claimed, but his phone stayed glued to him. Trust fragile, wobbled. I confronted it gentle, over breakfast. Anything I should know? He met my gaze, unflinching. Just work. Promise. I believed him mostly. Love demands that leap. Spring 2017 anniversary neared. We booked the peninsula again, reclamation. But as date approached, a letter arrived. Jordan's parents, handwritten, postmarked Indiana. We've been wrong. Come home. Let's try. He read it trembling, tears spotting the paper. They want to meet you. Properly. My heart swelled, ache and joy tangled. Road trip. The drive was therapy, flatlands blurring, his hand on my knee. The farm waited, barn red as memory. His dad greeted us stiff but with a handshake firm. Mom hugged fierce, pies cooling on the sill. Dinner was awkward grace. Small talk over roast, Mia bridging gaps with chatter. After on the porch swing, Dad Ellis cleared his throat. I was scared. For him. For us. Pause, eyes on horizon. But love's love. Welcome, son. Jordan wept then, ugly and free, my arm around him as stars pricked the sky. Back in Chicago, healed but scarred, we toasted to ghosts laid. The big night redo? Candles, no phones, just us. Slow dances in the suite, vows whispered anew. But stories don't end tidy. Life's a rematch always. The peninsula's glow felt different this time, earned, not assumed. No shattered glass, just the soft clink of glasses as Jordan handed me a flute. Bubbles rising like tentative hope. To us, he toasted, eyes locking mine. The real us. I clinked, the champagne crisp on my tongue. No freezes this time. His laugh was low, genuine, chasing shadows from the room. We danced to a phantom jazz tune. Bodies swaying in the dim. His chin on my shoulder. Remember our first dance? He murmured. Reception when you stepped on my toes. Blame the cake, I quipped, spinning him gentle. That night blurred sweet, whispers and touches reaffirming what words couldn't. No rush, just presence, the city humming approval beyond the glass. Morning brought room service waffles, syrup sticky on fingers as we planned. Family barbecue? Jordan suggested, scrolling Mia's group chat. Full reconciliation mode. Youngstown next, my turf. Mom outdid herself. Bratwurst grilling, coleslaw crisp. Dad manning the coals like a general. The Ellis clan arrived tentative. Jordan's folks in khakis starched stiff. But Mia's energy bridged it. Laughter built slow, stories swapped, beers cracked. When Dad Harper clinked bottles with Mr. Ellis over Steelers' woes, Jordan squeezed my hand under the picnic table, eyes shining. This is family, he whispered. Summer deepened, sticky with promise. Jordan's work ramped, a landmark case on adoption rights, him burning candles at both ends. I'd find him at dawn, laptop glowing, that determined furrow between his brows. Go back to sleep, coach, he'd say, smiling soft. I'd pull him close instead, murmuring, world saving can wait. You can't. Nights off, we'd hit the Green Mill for jazz, nursing old fashions in a booth scarred by decades. One set, a sax wail cutting deep, Jordan leaned in. You know, I almost bailed freshman year. Saw you in class, all brooding wrestler, and thought, no way he'd look twice. I smirked, tracing his knuckles. Your smile did the talking. Hooked me before hello. Fall 2017 brought winds of change. Mia started at OSU. Us driving her up. Dorm set up, tears and hugs in the parking lot. Take care of each other, she bossed, backpack slung. On the way home, Jordan quiet. Hits hard. Like losing a piece. She's gaining, I said, hand on his thigh as interstates blurred. Like we did. Chicago chilled early, leaves flaming then falling. Holidays loomed dual. Thanksgiving in Indiana, Christmas in Youngstown. The Ellis farm transformed, turkey stuffed with sage, Jordan and Mia tag teaming pie. His dad pulled me aside post-meal, pipe smoke curling. You grounded him, Alex. Thank you. Gruff but gold. Mom's place twinkled with lights, Dad stringing extras for the newlyweds. Gifts piled. Flannel from him, a quilt from her, stitched with Barnes and Matt's symbols intertwined. New Year's we hosted, friends crammed in our brownstone, countdown cheers echoing. At midnight, Jordan kissed me deep, confetti in his hair. Here's to more, he breathed. But 2018 tested steel. Jordan's case won, headlines in the Tribune. Chicago firm secures adoption win for LGBTQ couples. Celebrations raged but backlash bit. Hate mail flooded. One envelope with a slashed photo of us from the wedding. Sodomites burn, scrawled in red. He hid it at first, that smile a shield. I found the stack in his briefcase, rage boiling. Why alone? Didn't want to worry you, he admitted, shoulders slumping. Worries partnership, I snapped. We burned them in the sink that night. Flames licking lies. Ash swirling down the drain. Together, I said, pulling him close. Always. Spring thawed resolve. I got promoted at the rec center, head coach, salary bump for a down payment. House hunting weekends. Pills and row homes with murals vivid. Or Ukrainian village with pierogies on every corner. We fell for a Greystone in Humboldt Park. 3 beds, creaky porch, yard for a dog someday. Closing day, keys in hand, Jordan hooped, lifting me in a spin. Home, Alex. Our castle. We christened it paint splattered. Walls butter yellow, floors sanded smooth. Mia visited, claiming the attic as art studio. Evenings on the stoop, neighbors waving, community knitting tight. Summer heat peaked with pride, bigger, bolder post-wedding cake wars. We marched again, Jordan on a float, mic'd up, voice booming equality. I cheered from the crowd, chest swelling pride. But whispers grew. Jordan's late nights stretched. Networking dinners I skipped for coaching. Once his cologne mingled with unfamiliar cigar smoke. Client, he explained quick. Trust twinged, but I swallowed it. Counseling check-ins helped. Dr. Lena nodding. Triggers are normal. Name them. To Jordan over backyard beers. Just be transparent. For me. Always. He vowed, hazel eyes earnest. Fall elections loomed, midterms electric. Jordan canvassed, door to door in the 606, me tagging weekends. One rainy afternoon, pounding pavement in Logan Square. A heckler spat slurs. Jordan froze, smile gone, fists clenched. I stepped between, voice steady. Move on, buddy. Love wins. He exhaled, shaky after. You froze for me once. Now I get it, terror under skin. We hugged wet under umbrellas, rain washing doubt. Winter 2018 brought snowdrifts, holidays halved. Indiana first. Ellis table groaning, dad's toast slurred sentimental. To sons, and the man who makes mine shine. Jordan teared, squeezing my knee. Youngstown next. Mom's cookies, dad's shed tour, new tools, for fixing what breaks. Subtext landed soft. New Year's quiet, just us. Fire pit in the yard, marshmallows toasting gold. Resolutions. Jordan asked, chin on knees. Yours first, smiler. He thought, stars reflecting in his eyes. Less hiding. More heart. Mine, trust the pin. No second guessing. Kisses sealed it, smoke curling heavenward. 2019 dawned ambitious. Jordan-eyed grad school. Northwestern Policy Masters. Applications stacked, essays raw. I supported fierce, editing drafts over coffee, cheering mock defenses. Admit letter came April Fools, Real joy exploding. We're Buckeyes no more. He laughed, spinning me in the kitchen. Commencement that June, us in the bleachers, his name called to cheers. Dinner after Tyon Argyle toasting futures. But undercurrents stirred. A work trip to DC 3 days. Conference. He returned distant, jet-lagged excuse. Phone wiped clean? Paranoia I chided but sleep evaded. Counseling unearthed it. Old wounds, Dr. Lena said. Scabs itching. Jordan heard me out over park bench lunch. DC was intense, old colleagues, Lucas's name dropped casual. Stirred silt. Talked to him. Heart thudded. No. Firm. But it reminded me, ghosts linger if fed. We recommitted. Weekly date nights, no phone zones. It worked, mostly laughter returning, intimacy deepening. Fall colors blazed as Jordan started classes, schedule brutal. I adapted, coaching later, dinners reheated. Mia home for break, crashing our couch, stories spilling. Boys at OSU? Total disasters, she groaned. You're my standard. We blushed, Jordan ruffling her hair. Settle for nothing less. Thanksgiving crashed waves. Dual homes, suitcases stuffed. Indiana. Progressive talks, Dad Ellis admitting. Voted blue this year. Shock then hugs. Youngstown, Mom's famous pie, Dad's quiet. Proud son. Both of ya. Christmas snowed us in cozy cocoa steaming. Gifts thoughtful. Jordan's sketchpad for me. Wrestle your dreams. Mine. Family tree ornament. Branches for Ellis Harper. New Year's friends bash. Dancing till dawn, his hand in mine anchor. 2020 loomed, unaware its bite. Jordan's thesis brewed, me prepping team for states. Routine held, love the glue. January chill, a call shattered. Mia voice wobbling.
Car accident.
I'm okay, broken arm, but Dad's in hospital. We flew out, hearts pounding. Farm hospital sterile, Mr. Ellis pale in bed. Concussion, ribs cracked. Mrs. Ellis clung. Slippery roads. Jordan bedside vigil, me fetching coffee, holding her hand. He's tough, I assured. Recovery slow, us shuttling weekends. It bonded, late night talks with Dad, vulnerabilities aired. Feared losing him to the city, he confessed once. But you brought him back stronger. Your family, I said simple. Spring bloomed resilient. Mia healed, cast sign silly. Jordan's thesis defended ace, diploma framed proud. But pandemic whispers grew. Cases spiking, lockdowns looming. March, Chicago shuttered. Bars closed, gyms dark. I pivoted online coaching, Jordan remote policy work. Isolation tested. Days blurred, homebound, yard our world. Fights flared petty, cabin fever, dishes stacked. You're smothering, he snapped once, storming to study. Suffocating, I yelled back, door slamming. Cool off then apologies, Dr. Lena via Zoom. Pandemic amplifies. Breathe through. We did virtual dates, candlelit Zooms with wine. Balcony stargazing, his head on my lap. This too shall. Summer heat trapped indoors, AC humming. Protests erupted. George Floyd, streets alive, fury. Jordan joined, mast sign high, Black Lives Matter. I covered, worry gnawing, but pride swelled seeing him march. Fall elections fevered. Us glued to screens, ballots mailed early. Victory night, November chill, we toasted Biden-Harris on the porch, tears mixing cheers. Progress, Jordan said, arm around me. Winter lockdown harder. Holidays virtual, screens flickering faces, toasts pixelated. Mia's quarantine Christmas. Cookies mailed. New Year solitary, just us. Fireplace crackling, resolutions whispered. Survive, I said. Thrive after. He nodded, kiss ceiling. With you always. 2021 vaccinated hope. Shots jabbed, world cracking open.
Mia visited, Ux fierce.
Travel beckoned, road trip east, DC cherry blossoms tentative. But under it fatigue frayed. Jordan smiles rarer, circles under eyes. Burnout, he admitted. Work pile, thesis publish pressure. I pushed gentle. Vacation. Now. We drove to Door County, Wisconsin, lakeside cabin, waves lapping. Days hiking trails, nights bonfires. One evening, sunset painting water pink, he broke. I missed the farm. The simplicity. Miss me. Tease light. Every breath. Serious, pulling me close. But fear too, failing you us. You're not. Firm. We're enough. Return refreshed but cracks spidered. A email glimpsed colleague. Drinks. Innocent but trigger pulled. Confront soft. Boundaries. He sighed. Yes. Phone open always. Trust rebuilt layer by layer. Summer festivals returned, Lollapalooza crowds. Us dancing sweat slick. Pride rainbow riot. Hands linked bold. Fall brought Mia's graduation. OSU caps flying, us cheering loud. Dinner after her toast. To the uncles who showed me love's a verb. Tears flowed, Jordan's smile full wattage. Holidays hybrid. Indiana in person, masks optional. Dad Ellis stronger, hugs bear tight. Youngstown virtual mix, mom's pie shipped. New Year's bash small, friends vaccinated, laughter live. 2022 dawn steady. Jordan's book deal. Policy manifesto, queer lens. Launch party buzzed, him signing copies, me beaming proud. But life pivots cruel. Spring, mom's diagnosis, breast cancer early but scary. We rally, drives to Cleveland, chemo chats. Jordan held her hand, smile steady. Fighters run in the family. She beat it summer, remission bell rung loud. Fall, my turn, knee blowout, coaching, surgery sidelining. Jordan nurse mode. Ice packs, pep talks. Wrestler's grit, he teased, rubbing scar. Winter healed slow but us stronger. 2023 decade mark since college. Reunion OSU tailgate, jerseys faded. Us arm in arm toasting ghosts. Holidays full circle. Joint feast, families merged, table groaning love. New Year's porch swing creak, his head on shoulder. 10 years Alex. Wouldn't trade. Me neither. Gish solved. But stories loop, tensions simmer. A work trip again, LA. Conference. Returned, cologne faint unfamiliar. Phone open, text clean. But gut twisted. Counseling. Intuition or insecurity? Jordan. Talk to me. Always. I did raw. Fear the freeze again. He held me. No more secrets. Promise. Summer heat, yard barbecue, friends, Mia dating announced. He's a keeper, she winked. Fall elections quiet. Us voting early, hope tempered. 2024 book tour, Jordan cities blurring. Calls nightly voice anchor. Return, exhausted but glowing. Missed this, he said, home in arms. Holidays peak. All under one roof, Ohio and rented. Laughter echoed, bonds iron. New Year's Eve countdown intimate. Future, he asked. Us, I said. Always. 2025 dawned. Current date December 19th. Our anniversary eve. Snow dust Chicago, brownstone warm. Tonight, Peninsula Redux. Decade celebrated. But as we dress, phone buzzes. His.
Iglanza. Notification. Ella. Drinks.
For old times. Freeze returns, heart stutter. History or haunt. The notification glowed innocuous, but it landed like a grenade pin pulled.
El. Drink.
For old times. Lucas, after all this time, the ghost refusing burial. Jordan's back to me, nodding his tie in the mirror, oblivious. My fingers itched to snatch the phone, but I held breath shallow. Anniversary Eve 2025, and here we were, echoes of that first big night mocking from the wings. Ready? He called, turning with that smile. Still perfect, still mine, but now laced with history's fine print. I forced a nod, pocketing my doubt like loose change. Yeah, let's make it unforgettable. The drive to the peninsula was city-lit poetry. Michigan Avenue twinkling, Lakeshore Drive a ribbon of white lights. We held hands over the console, his thumb stroking mine absent, my mind replaying texts I'd glimpsed years back. Old times. What did that even mean now? Nostalgia or net? Valet took the keys. We ascended to the suite, same one, upgraded view. Champagne chilled, petals fresh. Staff's knowing wink at our return. Toasts clinked. To 10 years of grapples and graces. We laughed, tension my secret. Dinner room service, filet. Asparagus spears like accusations. Conversation flowed safe. Mia's law school apps, my team state win, Jordan's book tour anecdotes. But undercurrent pulled, my smiles strained. Post-meal balcony beckoned, city sprawl below, wind nipping sharp. Jordan leaned on the rail, profile sharp against neon. Alex? You've been quiet. Something up. The opening yawned. I joined him, elbows touching. That text. Before we left. His face shifted recognition then regret. Saw it, huh? Deleted it unread. But you know who. Statement not question. He sighed, turning to face me, hazel eyes steady. Yeah, Lucas. Bumped into him at a panel last month, policy thing in New York. Exchanged numbers, polite, professional. That's it. Drinks? Old times. Echoed sharp. Networking. He insisted, hand on my arm. He's in advocacy now, trans rights. Harmless. Harmless. The word chafed. Last time it was harmless. We shattered glass on our wedding night. He winced, pulling me into a hug. Cedar cologne familiar, heartbeat sync. I know. And I hate that I hurt you then. But this? It's dust, Alex. You're my everything. I wanted to believe, leaned into him, the skyline blurring wet. But doubt clung, sticky as humidity. Promise me, no ghosts. Not tonight, not ever. Promise. Kiss sealed it, soft on temple. Back inside, we slow danced to a Spotify crooner. Body's memory. Bed called, sheets cool invitation. Love-making tender, reaffirming. No rush, just us, breaths mingling like vows renewed. Sleep came deep, his arm heavy anchor. Morning brought coffee, croissants flaking. Checkout smooth, but my gut churned. Home unpacked, routine reclaimed. But the text lingered like aftertaste. Days ticked December. Holiday prep. Tree strung in the brownstone, ornaments clinking memories. Mia arrived 20th, train from Columbus, duffel thumping. Anniversary gift, she announced, thrusting a wrapped bundle, matching mugs. Mr. Smiles and Mr. Grins. Jordan chuckled, hugging fierce. Perfect. We baked, gingerbread men with lopsided smiles, flour dusting noses. But my laughs rang hollow, mind looping Lucas. Eve of the 19th, current date now, snow falling soft outside. Jordan's office party, me coaching scrimmage. Home late, paths crossing in kitchen. Missed you, he said, pecking cheek. Missed this. Stirring chili, domestic anchor. Dinner casual, TV humming holiday special. But post-meal he checked phone, frown fleeting. Work email. Or, paranoia again. I excused to shower. Steam clouding mirror, reflection fractured. Trust earned over years, fragile as frost. Bedtime he spooned close, whisper. Love you, coach. Love you, farm boy. But sleep evaded, mind racing scenarios. Dawn 19th, coffee brewing, Jordan's phone chirped. Face down on counter. I glanced, innocent. Notification, oh great, catching up. Let's collab soon. Collab. Professional. Or cover. Heart hammered, freeze creeping. He emerged, tousled, smiling. Morning, handsome. Hey. Voice steady barely. Another from Lucas? Smile faltered. Yeah. Follow-up from the panel. Why? Curious. Casual but pulse thrummed. What's the collab? He poured coffee, casual. Article pitch, queer policy intersections. Co-author maybe. With your ex. Slipped sharper than intended. Alex. Sigh heavy. It's work. Not personal. But he is. The dam cracked. Personal history, Jordan. And it triggers me every time. He set mug down, face softening. I get it. Truly. Want me to decline? Tempting, slash the thread. But control that? No. Just. Loop me in. Transparency. Done. He pulled me close, kiss forehead. No secrets. Day unfolded errands. Tree lot top up. Wreaths hung. Mia joined lunch, girl and the goat. Goat empanadas spicy. Laughter flowed, her stories distracting. Law school drama, boyfriend tales. He's steady like you too. Jordan winked. Aim high, kid. Afternoon free, a snapping tangled snow muting world. Woke to his phone buzzing, draft outline? Jordan typed quick, showed me, sounds good. CC Alex, he's got policy chops too. Inclusion salve. Doubt eased fraction. Evening family call, mom's update, dad's gruff cheer. Ella's side 2, virtual eggnog toasts. Bed early, his hand in mine, anniversary eve peace. But midnight, insomnia struck. Slipped downstairs, phone mine now, his charging. Texts open. Chain with Lucas, outlines shared, emojis neutral. One line snagged. Remember our Hayloft manifestos? This feels like that. Heart sank. Nostalgia innocent? Or invitation? Upstairs shook him gentle. Jordan. Wake up. He blinked groggy. Time. Midnight. And this. Showed the text voice quake. He sat up rubbing eyes. Context: we wrote dumb zines in high school, queer theory rants. It's a nod, nothing more. But it feels more. Tears hot. Like he's pulling you back. He pulled me into lap, arms steel. He's not. You are my now, Alex. Past is prologue. We talked hours, raw, relentless. His vulnerability poured. Lucas represents what I escaped, the hiding, the half-life. But collapse, closure, maybe. Professional exorcism. I nodded slow. Okay. But if it hurts us, it stops. Deal. Dawn light filtered us, exhausted but aligned. December 20th anniversary proper. Brunch at the Bongo Room, pancakes towering. Mia gifted tickets. Grizzlies game courtside. Sweat and cheers. Afternoon, ice skating Millennium Park. Bean reflecting us, hand-in-hand glides. Falls laughed off, hot cocoa steaming. Evening, home intimate. Steak seared, wine decanted, candle flicker. Toast deep. To freezes thawed, Jordan said. To smiles true, I echoed. Dessert, tiramisu shared, his foot hooking mine under table. 10 years. Pinnacle. More peaks ahead. Kish sweet. Bed called love languid reaffirmation. Sleep solid, dreamless. But morning 21st, email pinged Lucas. Outline feedback? Call tomorrow? Jordan showed casual. Your thoughts? I scanned solid policy, no red flags. Go for it. But conference. He nodded, dialing speaker. Call brief. Ideas bounced, laughs professional. Hang up, he grinned. See? Boring. Relief washed. Team us. Holidays ramped. Christmas Eve church, progressive, carols queer infused. Mia's mass, her voice soprano clear. Day of brownstone festooned. Families converged, chaos joyful. Kids, nieces/nephews, shrieking, pies multiplied. Dad Harper and Ellis swapping war stories, moms gossiping recipes. Gifts unwrapped. Jordan's watch engraved, pinned forever. Mine journal sequel. Our next chapter. Toast circled. Love, resilience. Jordan's. To the man who unfroze my heart. Tears pricked. Boxing Day drive Ohio, OSU bowl game tailgate, chill biting. Us bundled, cheers horse. Return New Year's prep. Party small, vaccinated crew. Countdown, his kiss at 0. 2026, us brighter. But January frost, collab deepened, drafts flying, calls weekly. I joined one, voice input valued. Lucas polite, voice smooth, no threat vibe. Yet intuition nagged. A night, Jordan home late. Bar with co-authors. Cologne faint, same as years back. Lucas. Quiet ask. He paused, doorframe lean. Yeah. Quick drink, rap session. Sting sharp. Transparent. Was gonna tell. Deflate. Sorry. Habit. Habit. The word wounded. Break it. I will. Hug tight. Counseling resumed. Zoom with Dr. Lena, now gray-streaked. Patterns repeat if unchallenged, she warned. Jordan heard. No more. Full stop. Collab wrapped February. Article submitted, credits triple. Launch virtual, kudos rolling. Spring bloom, trust mended. Mia accepted NYU, tears and cheers. Summer road trip. Route 66 echoes, motels kitsch. Grand Canyon awe. His hand in mine, rim edge. Fall book sequel, Jordan adoption tales. Me co-coach, team nationals. Holidays 2025 peak. All in Ohio and again, snow globe world. But December 19th, today marks reflection. Phone silent, ghosts quiet. Jordan brews coffee, smile morning gold. Freeze free, he teases. Thawed, I affirm. Life's not linear, bets, betrays, builds. But us? Pinned, enduring. December 19th, 2025. The date hits different now, a bookmark in our battered book. Snow dusts the brownstone stoop as I sip coffee, watching Jordan hum carols while wrapping Mia's law school care package. His smile flashes in the foil's gleam, imperfect, lived in, the kind that carries scars like badges. 10 years, 2 freezes, countless thaws, and here we are. Not flawless but fierce. The collab with Lucas? It closed a circle, not cracked one. Article published Spring 25, citation stacking like affirmations. We framed the byline, 3 names united front, on the mantel beside our wedding photo. Lucas faded back to footnote, a polite holiday card arriving once, us reciprocating neutral. No drinks, no old times. Jordan kept his word. Transparency tattooed in habit. Phones shared, nights accounted, doubts aired before they festered. But healing's no straight shot. Summer 25 tested again. Mia's moved to NYC, empty nester echo in our halls. Jordan paced, farm boy roots tugging. She's flying but damn it hollows. I pulled him to the yard, fire pit crackling. Like when we left Columbus. Scary but wings spread. He leaned head on shoulder, Esmeralda's melting sticky. You always know the pin. Fall brought wins. My team nationals, trophy hoisted, Jordan courtside whooping loudest. His sequel book deal launch in spring. We celebrated dive bar style. Shots of Jameson darts thudding bullseyes. Holidays swelled. Christmas Eve at the inn, families fused seamless. Dad Harper taught Mr. Ellis poker, groans and guffaws mingling. Mom's orchestrated feast, turkey, tamales, pierogies hybrid. Mia FaceTimed from dorm, boyfriend cameo shy. He's meeting the clan next year, she declared. Toasts tiered. Dad Ellis voice gravel. To chosen blood. Thicker than shared. New Year's snowed heavy. Us snowshoeing fields, breaths clouding laughs. Countdown intimate, porch swing sway. To messy miracles, Jordan toasted. 2026 dawn vaccinated vibrant. Mia's graduation, NYU cap toss, us front row flowers flung. Dinner rooftop skyline salute. To barristers bold. Spring Jordan's launch bookstore packed, signings snaking. I am seed voice proud. This man's not just words, he's action. Summer escape. Italy Amalfi Cliffs, pasta twirled seas azure. One sunset, Positano terraces he knelt. Not proposal but renewal. Vows 2.0? Still all in. Tears salt sea. Eternally pinned. Fall elections 26. Midterms blue wave. Jordan's op-eds credited. Protests peaceful. Us marching hand-linked, signs high. Winter whisper, mom's checkup clear. Cancer ghosts banished. Dad's retirement bash. Steel mill tales, us toasting next chapters. But March 27 curveball. Jordan's diagnosis, testicular, early catch. World tilted but we wrestled. Appointments tag team, chemo chats over foe. His smile dimmed but never doused. Beats hay fever, he'd quip, bald head gleaming. Remission summer, buzzed hair growing, us hiking Appalachians, trails triumph. Fall Mia's bar pass, celebration cruise Hudson, champagne pops. Holidays 27. In tradition, now with grandnieces toddling. Chaos candy cane. 2028 we adopted Fin 5 foster system survivor, eyes wide wonder. Home chaotic. Blocks tumbling, bedtime stories triple. Jordan dad mode beaming, braiding tiny curls like Mia's. Our trio. He whispered nights, Finn snoring soft. Parenting pivoted us. PDA wars, soccer sidelines. But core held. Date nights stolen, balcony whispers. 29 Finn school play, tree roll, us filming teary. Summer road trip, Route 66 redux, minivan crammed, sing-alongs off-key. Fall Jordan's TED Talk, queer policy views viral. Backlash trolls but support tsunami. Holidays, Finn's first real Santa belief bright. 2030 milestone, 20 years. OSU reunion grand, us keynote stories shared. From lecture hall hook to life pin. Jordan joked, crowd roaring. Anniversary bash. Peninsula penthouse, friends/fam orbiting. Vows refreshed, rings polished. But 31 shadows. My heart scare, stint simple but wake up. Jordan bedside vigil, echoing my fears. Your turn to lean, I teased post-op. He did, us pacing recovery tandem. 32 Fins tween angst. Crushes confused, us guiding gentle. Love spectrum wide. Summer camp drop-off tears his mind mast. Fall Mia's wedding, NYC loft. Her groom steady artist. Us walking aisle, tissues handy. Holidays blended bigger. Grandkids peak. 2033, Jordan's retirement tease. Non-profit helm passed. Time for us, he said. Travel spree, Japan cherry blossoms, Fin fluent anime. 34 My coaching hall of fame speech choked. To the smile that coached my heart. Summer family reunion farm. Hayloft now guest loft, ghosts gracious. Fall book 3 Jordan memoir hours. Holidays Finn's coming out by boyfriend bashful. Hugs heaped. Proud kid. 2035 25 years. Vows Vegas kitsch. Elvis officiant laughs loud. But 36 loss. Dad Harper fades peaceful. Funeral Milltown Jordan eulogy gold. He pinned quiet love. Grief group us anchoring. Summer memorial hike his favorite trail ashes scattered wind. Fall Mia's baby girl Ellis Harper line. Holidays newborn coos. 2037 grandparent gig. Diapers duo Jordan's braid skills grand. Travel tamed. Porch swings suffice. 38 Finn's college. OSU echo us teary drop. Summer empty nest redux. Us dancing kitchen empty. Fall Jordan's health dip. Prostate watch clean. Holidays baby firsts. 2039 30 years. Quiet. Brownstone takeout toasts tear streaked. 40 pandemic echo flu wave. Us masked careful. Summer vaccines relief. Fall Mia's second boy rowdy. Holidays chaos cherished.
2041, Jordan S60 surprise roast, smile stacked.
Travel. Ireland roots Finn tagging. 42 my knee swap titanium tough. Summer rehab walks his arm steady. Fall book for legacy. Holidays grandkids 3. 2043 Finn's wedding, partner engineer, us toasting tandem. Summer honeymoon cover, babysit brigade. Fall empty fuller. 44 health tandem. Checkup synced. Holidays quiet gold. 2045 40 years.
Peninsula Legacy suite sacred, Vaux voiced.
But 46 scare. Jordan stroke mild speech slurred weak. Rehab fierce us verses. Summer walk slow hands linked. Fall memoir sequel our freezes. Holidays adapted, Zoom toasts. 2047 grandkids school, us tutors tag. Travel porch voyages. 48 my book wrestling queer. Summer launch joint. Fall awards duo.
Holidays, Legacy Lee.
2049 50 years. Vows video Finn filming. 50 quiet pinnacle. Brownstone holds love's layered. Jordan smile eternal hook. Froze once thawed forever. Humanity's arc. Betrayals sting to forgiveness grace. Conflicts clash to compassion carved. Not fairy tale gritty gospel American as apple pie cracked. Us? Still falling pinned in love's unyielding hold.